Hey, Mr. Bigfoot, what you eating?
My famous 3-bean tacos. Would you like one?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, just let me splash some El Yucateco Caribbean hot sauce on it. And here you go.
Yum, this sauce is so tasty. It has the perfect balance of heat and flavor.
Yeah, El Yucateco is all about flavor, kid. They have 5 habanero-based sauces, guaranteed to make your taste buds happy. Red, green, Caribbean, black label reserve, and triple extra hot. Oh yeah.
Where can I get some?
Just go to shopelucateco.com and use code Paranormal Punchers to save 10%.
Thanks, Mr. Bigfoot.
Paranormal Punchers is part of the Podbelly Network. Go to podbelly.com for more great podcasts.
Hey y'all, this is Frank the Bigfoot, and you're listening to the Paranormal Punchers.
Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Paranormal Punchers, broadcasting live from our secret base that we call the Clubhouse. I'm Mark.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Nash.
I'm Dave.
And on this episode, we're going to talk about the horrifying, the frightening Mantis Man. All right. Great.
I'll just leave you hanging on that one.
Episode over. And we have listener feedback to do on the second half. Hopefully it's a fun episode. I want to ask you guys quickly, has anybody watched the Sasquatch series on Hulu? It's like a 3-part docuseries.
I saw it listed, but I have not had a chance to watch it yet.
Okay.
I don't have Hulu.
Okay.
Oh. No.
You can watch it on my TV.
And that was an ice cold stare from Mark on that one.
It's well put together. It's the executive producers are the Duplass brothers, responsible for the movie Creep and Creep 2. The first episode I was really digging. Then it kind of changed on me. Lish and I will talk about it a little more at the end of the show. That way, if you haven't seen it, you can jump out before we have any spoilers.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Well then, why don't we get jumping into today's topic? You guys ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Imagine, if you will, you were out fishing and enjoying being outdoors. You sense something to your left. You turn, and to your shock, standing not far off from you is a human-sized praying mantis.
Terrifying, right? Well.
We worked that out.
I know. Well, in Hackettstown, New Jersey, near the Musconetcong.
I was excited to hear how we're all going to pronounce this.
I was saying it right in my head, really. Musconetcong River. God.
Muscatong?
Muscatong?
No, that's not Muscatong.
Musconetcong?
I don't know.
I found some locals referring it to as M-Kong.
M-Kong.
So if that helps you out.
Let's go with that. Okay.
M-Kong?
So there have been several encounters with a large bug-like creature. I'm sorry,
naked
guys.
bug-like creature?
Yeah.
That changed the whole show.
right.
We can still have an alliteration, but...
A large bug-like creature resembling a praying mantis. Now, this praying mantis life-size creature is about 7 feet tall, and I saw some that were like 6 feet, and some were saying 8 feet.
I saw a bunch of 8 foot,
Yeah, so I feel like there's probably, I don't know, depending on how far away you are, like that's probably where it's coming from, the size difference, but it's a bug-like humanoid creature resembling a praying mantis. It's dark green or brown, also has, sometimes it's not, I guess it's not skin, but its outer layer is translucent.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exoskeleton?
Yeah, thank you. That's a good word. And then some say...
I'm bringing it today.
Some say it can camouflage itself as well. It has a triangular head with huge slanted black eyes. Its whole body is kind of gangly and knobby, but it appears powerful. And it has been seen near the water, which is odd for a praying mantis since they pretty much stick to dry ground or whatever.
Yeah, fish eat them.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem to want to harm anyone. It likely is afraid of people it encounters as it runs away. So I'll give you a couple of the encounters that I found. In 2002, Joe Parenti, he was fishing with his brother. Around dusk, while his brother was about 50 yards away, Joe felt a strange vibration in his right ear. He turned and looked right, and that was when he saw it. A gray and black 6 to 7 foot praying mantis-looking man, just standing there, looking like it was in shock that he could see it. It had prominent mandibles and was chewing something. He felt that it was probing his mind, and when he decided to back up slowly...
Probing.
Yes, it was probing. It unfurled a pair of large wings and then vanished in a mist. At this point, Joe wet his pants.
Wasn't he in the water?
Well,
That's why it made it easy just to...
Yes.
I mean, that's what you do.
So he sat down in the water so his brother wouldn't see that he actually wet himself. So he was trying to hide it. But when he brings it
Like
up...
in Happy Gilmore.
When he brings it up in conversation, like after this, he is usually taken with so much emotion and fear that he breaks down in tears. So, like, this was something that really affected him and shocked him. And he was just like, what the heck did I see? Now, in 2004, Paul Jacks was fly fishing, and he was chest high in the river. I think it had rained hard the night before, so he really shouldn't have been in the water at that point. Like, I think it was too high for them, but they wanted to go fishing. The first thing he saw or noticed was a grasshopper thigh, but bending forward like a human. It looked at him over his shoulder while moving up the bank. So the creature was moving up the bank, but it looked at him over his shoulder, or over its shoulder. It disappeared into thin air almost as soon as the creature noticed he had seen it. He said that the whole body was gangly, knobby, and green, same as the other one, and its face triangular with black eyes. He felt that it seemed shocked that he could see it. Paul claims that this wasn't his first encounter with something weird. He wasn't necessarily super shocked when he saw it. I think he was just like, weird. Because he had previously had a ghostly encounter, and he also saw a shadow person. And this encounter with the Mantis Man didn't seem to startle him, but he felt like the creature seemed to pick up on the fact that he had seen it. And he was just like, oh, I got to disappear. Now, the last one I got is 2014, so 10 years later. Mr. Strickler was driving near the bridge over the river when he noticed something to his left, which he assumed was a fisherman. So it was standing in the river just off the south bank. He slowed his car and looked closer. It was transparent-like with a weird shape. Definitely not human. It was pale brown, but he could see through it. Its head was small compared to the rest of the body, and it was about 8 feet tall, and with long arms hanging off of it. Mm-hmm. It moved slowly towards the bank and into the trees, and that was the last he saw of it. So I don't know if the car was still moving at that point, and so he just kind of lost sight of it or whatever. But so those are the sightings.
Now, that is all in New Jersey,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
I found a report from the UK.
Ooh.
Over in Warwick. In fact, I think people were calling the dude who claimed he saw the Mantis Man. They were calling him the Mantis Man of Warwick, making fun of him to the point he quit his job.
Oh, gosh.
Because his coworkers just kept making fun of him about this. But he claims he was out for a bike ride, and he saw this ball in the sky. At first, he thought maybe it was just a planet. But he looked at it, it was moving and coming. He's like, "Wow, that's okay. I'll start taking pictures." So he was taking pictures, and it descended down. So he went in the woods to try to follow, and that's when he saw this Mantis Man. And he said they locked eyes. I guess you locked eyes with something crazy like that. but it felt like it was trying to probe his mind, and he was scared, and he eventually broke the psychic connection and just got out of there.
I wonder how he broke the psychic connection.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's thinking
Maybe
about the most gentle thing possible.
Yeah. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, he has a quote saying that my fear was replaced with completely alien thoughts of utter hatred and evil.
What?
That he felt that this thing was projected into his mind.
Wow.
So he makes it sound like these things do not like us.
Right.
Now going back to New Jersey. Now I tried to look up like how many UFO sightings, and it was hard to kind of pin down on the dates of what was happening at that time. But what I did find out was that in Hackettstown, New Jersey,
Hackettstown.
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 Yeah, it's Hackettstown.
Hackettstown.
Sorry.
Hackettstown. What I found was that even in 2020, this is not necessarily a hotbed like it is like in West Virginia, where there's a lot of crazy stuff happening. But just for instance, in 2020, with COVID and everything happening, there was still 138 sightings, UFO sightings in New Jersey. Now,
Wow.
New Jersey isn't super huge. It's not like Oregon or California. It's not some gigantic state like Texas.
Right.
But to have that many, and everybody is still inside during the COVID, oh my gosh. I can only imagine what was happening in 2014 with people running around.
That's a lot of UFO sightings.
That's a lot of UFOs. That's at least, what, 10 a month?
Yeah, right next to us, though. Why can't we see all those UFOs in Pennsylvania?
Because it's cloudy here.
It's always cloudy.
It's
here.
always cloudy.
And windy. Yeah. I don't want to be outside.
You know, so Mantis Man, this is strange. And Dave, I got something to throw at you here in a second, but it also made me think of Mantis Man in like pop culture. Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Zorak. Here, you'll enjoy this.
I wanna kick your ass until your head falls off. And then I'll kick your head and kick your ass again. Why? I don't think it's learned its lesson. Open the door, sucker. It's Zorak. Here to kick your ass.
Oh, my gosh.
That is a fantastic song.
Here's Zorak to kick your ass. But again, he is a mantis man, a 7 foot tall, angry creature. So it made me think about other stuff in pop culture, which I found a pictograph. Dave, I know we discussed this. So this was found in Iran when they were doing some archaeological dig.
Yep. Cave drawing. It was found because they couldn't carbon date it. I guess the radioactive pieces they need to do that aren't allowed to go into Iran.
Yeah.
So, but they think it's anywhere between 4,000 and 40,000 years ago.
Wow.
4,000 to 40,000.
I was going to say 4 years or 40,000 years?
Yeah.
So this is quite old.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks like they were making a human mantis hybrid in one of their pictographs here.
But it's not the only one. Now, this pictograph has been found in Africa, southern Africa, and even the Egyptian Book of the Dead depicts this mantis man. It's like a lesser deity of the underworld. So, ancient Egypt, ancient Africa, Iran. Like, what if this was like an alien species that was coming down,
Right.
Exploring Earth? We just watched what was that? Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah.
But they were coming down here when man would see that kind of technology, like, oh, it's a god.
Right.
So maybe we were worshiping this mantis man. That's why they were drawing the pictographs of it. And now it's back.
Yeah. Science Daily said the petroglyph suggests humans have linked mantids to the supernatural since ancient times. So, like, they've pretty much just felt like they were something supernatural. But
I just thought it was odd that all these mantis sightings, that the mantis, I don't know what the plural for mantis is. Is it manti?
mantids.
Mantises?
I don't know.
Mantidai? I don't know.
Can't it just be Mantis Men?
Mantis Men. Okay. Good call. I stand corrected. They were all... Now, if you've ever seen a mantis or been around a mantis, they're pretty aggressive creatures. If the females bite the males' heads off, they're incredibly violent creatures. So to see a mantis man who was just kind of hanging out, chilling, that to me is like, okay, well, I think mantis is just kind of a category that we put it in, like a multi-legged creature kind of a thing. Because if it was a gigantic mantis human thing, whatever, it would most likely try to bite these people in half. It would come.
Well, the fisherman said it looked like he was finishing up a meal when he spotted it.
Yeah.
It could have been another fisherman.
Yeah, that could be. They're awesome looking creatures, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, but it's 7 foot. It would be frightening. Yes, at the size we're used to. Right.
At the normal size of
Even
current?
then, they're a little creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, 7 foot.
Yeah.
Now, I would want to go back to two of the stories you talked about, Lish. One, it disappeared in a mist.
Yes.
The other one, it vanished.
It just vanished.
So, is it cloaking itself? Is it interdimensional? Like, just zipping back into his dimension.
Right. I mean, the way it sounds with the sightings, like, it's like, oh, I see a human. I'm going to roll stealth to get by it. And the DM says, you think you're stealthy. And then it notices that it's been detected, and it triggers some sort of a feat to disappear. But, yeah.
That was one of the things, not what you just said, Dave, but that it is an alien and it has an ability to disappear into thin air. So it could be interdimensional. It could be able to cloak itself, which makes me think of Predator.
Well, that's what I thought. This whole thing was it the translucence that was like a Predator thing.
You're one ugly. Yeah.
And some people think that Mantis Man isn't a cryptozoological.
You had it.
Did I? Okay.
Perfect. You got it perfect.
Cryptozoological.
You got it wrong that time.
Yeah, I know. Creature. But
Try again.
Cryptozoological creature. I can't speak today. But instead, an overseeing. It's not a creature. It's an overseeing alien species.
Yeah.
Who studies humans when abducted. Could also be overseers of other alien races who frequent our world. So that was something I found as well.
What if the praying mantis is actually their babies? They're down here.
Right, they're breeding
down here, and then they have to come and pick them up occasionally.
And they're like, oh, Steve got away. Hold on, go get. Oh, the human got him. Oh well, they put him in a cage and put him in the house.
But then you think they'd be here in Pennsylvania? It's our state insect, right?
So I have something to tell you about what happened in Philadelphia, but I was going to save that.
Oh, ominous music.
Yep. So let's just finish with the explanations possibly, and then I'll move on to the...
okay.
It's a MUFON report from September 2009 in Philly. But anyway, so I found another thing that they think it might be an experiment has gone wrong, like a mutation in a breeding situation.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, I'm leaning towards alien, but... and then also it could be drug-induced or alcohol related.
Yeah, I thought I saw one of the explanations was alcohol.
Yeah.
Like the fishermen were pounding back a few buds while they're fishing. And you got to drink a... You have to drink a lot to hallucinate.
I disagree with the alcohol because cumulatively we've drank a lot of alcohol.
And I've never seen a mantis man.
Never seen something that cool.
Believe me.
That would be awesome.
I would keep trying. Right, yeah. Today I'm already on my way, so I will keep trying.
Like, let us know what they were drinking because I want to go do that.
Right, yeah. I don't think beer's ever been known to induce hallucinations.
No.
Well, and along those lines with the one of the other factors, I found another story of somebody having a sighting, but I couldn't get enough details to tell if it was one of the other ones that we already talked about or if it was something different. It didn't go into a lot of details there, but that it was this guy talking to his friend and recounting about seeing this, but like he was like really nervous. Like he had to get something off of his chest, but he was like scared to even talk about it. And that's what it seems like a lot of this. The one fisherman was, broke down in tears talking about this. Like that people who experience this are very much
It shocks you.
Traumatized.
Right,
Yeah.
traumatized and everything, and ostracized. Compared to how many other cryptids do we talk about, and we hear about people talking about these things, and it's like there's some ramifications, but not a lot.
Right.
A few sightings, and everybody's like making fun of these people.
Of
and
course.
in the UK,
Guy had to
he
quit.
his job. Like something like it's almost like that psychic connection causes some sort of a stigma that they give off that people don't want to
Right.
be around them or something. I don't know.
All I know is when we decided to start talking about the Mantis Man, I probably spent 2 hours looking at Mantis style Kung Fu.
Nice.
Because I was just like, this is where we need to start talking about it. But it had nothing to do with what we were talking about. But I really enjoyed the research on this one.
Oh, boy.
It was nice.
Did you see the new Mortal Kombat movie?
I saw about 3/4 of it and I fell asleep.
There's your review.
All right, so let me give you this MUFON report. Okay. September 2009 in Philly. So this guy, at 2:45 a.m., he was buzzed by a 4-foot orb on the roof of the building he was working on. It materialized about a foot away, blocking him and making a buzzing sound before taking off and dematerializing. An hour later, he was walking through a machine room on the roof when he encountered a 3-foot tall triped creature, so it had 3 legs. It turned around and noticed him looking at it. It had one blue eye, which was moving rapidly, a long eyelid, and rubbery-looking legs and bulbous feet. It freaked out and started jumping up and down and making a high-pitched noise, kind of like a dog toy. Like you've got dog toys that is hilarious. Anyway, he backed up and just kind of put his hands up and to say, you can go, and it went past him. So, same morning, he was doing paperwork when a man-sized praying mantis came up to the window and just stared at him for about a minute. He didn't feel very comfortable considering the nature of a praying mantis. He just sat there and didn't move until it left.
He was watching him through the window?
Yes.
It kind of gave him that where it points at his eyes and it points at him. It's like, I see you, I got
don't know.
you.
They were staring at each other.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm just going to wait until it moves. Anyway, same guy. 3 days later, he witnessed a giant bird with a 40-foot wingspan flying above Eakin's Oval. I'm not sure what that is or where that is. At this point, he was getting fed up with all the paranormal stuff he was seeing. So,
Tired of this paranormal bullshit.
he decided to watch it for 4 minutes, and then he ignored it and went on with his business.
Wow.
I don't know if you'd want to ignore a 40-foot wingspan bird.
Right.
Oh, my
Well,
gosh.
even just that number of encounters in a
Right?
short period of time. Like, if I have that orb buzzing me, number one, I'm going to go tell all my coworkers about it. Number two, I'm going to keep at least a tennis racket around. Next time it comes by, smack at it.
I mean, I would at least, if the Mantis Man staring through the window at me, I would lock eyes, staring contest stuff, and slowly try to get my phone up, take a photo.
Right.
I mean, if he's going to stand still, still probably turn out blurry.
So it was through. It had to be through a window, right?
Yeah, he was like in the office, and I'm sure there are some offices where it's just a window that you can see what's going on out there, but yeah.
I figured it's perfect time for one of the greatest things you could ever do with an alien, and it's a dance-off.
Oh, man. That
Right?
would've been
You get on the one
awesome.
side and you start boogieing, and then you send it to him and see if he does it back. And see if you get the Mantis Man to start dancing back. I'm just thinking that would be the time to do
And
it.
the Mantis Man is like, you idiot. Opens the window, bites his head off.
It leaves 5 minutes later to another 4 hours later.
And he reports back, well, I tried to communicate with him, and Buddy made this gesture at me. And in his language, that dance was like a big F-U. Right. So I had to kill him.
Yeah. I was kind of picturing the Top Gun, the diplomatic relations, just flipping him on the bird.
As soon as you said that orb thing buzzed him, I'm like, oh, Maverick.
Yep.
Anyway,
maybe Tom Cruise is a mantis man.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he doesn't age.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And you could do all the tropes like behind the glass, like behind the cubicle wall, where you like walk down the stairs and you look over and you're like, haha, and then you kind of walk back up the stairs. You know, you could do all the things like you're rowing a boat and you kind of go past the window rowing the boat. It's a good time.
That's what you would do?
That's what I would do. I'd be like, what's up? What you got? What's up?
And then I'm like, so why didn't you take a picture? You know, you're on a paranormal show, and you didn't get proof. You just did mime things with it.
And the other people in the office are like, why is Nash moonwalking in front of the window there? And why is he doing...
Your boss slowly dials the police.
911. Nash is
Right.
acting up again.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
See, because no one else would see the mantis man. They would just see you
do my
rowing a
thing.
boat in your office. That sounds wrong.
to have all of these things happen to him within a short period of time, the fact that he didn't say, you know what, I'm not feeling good, I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I totally would have been like, yeah, I'm done. I don't need to deal with this today.
Just look over and you stand there, you're like, that's it. I'm out. I'm done.
Right.
Whatever. I don't care.
I feel like I want to have a beer with that guy. Just hang out for a while, see if things
Right.
keep happening to him.
Tell us about that week you had, that 1 week that you had in 2014. Or
Right.
It was.
Yeah, 2009.
Oh,
But
okay.
I mean, the first thing he saw sounded like a reject out of some sci-fi B movie.
it had one blue eye, and I am imagining like this little round creature with a big eye and 3 legs. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird to me.
Mike Wazowski with a third leg.
Anyway, that's all I got, guys. I thought I would end with that one. So,
Wow. Well, I think that'd be a great week to have. That would be, you just kind of document everything and then kind of go, you know what, I'm taking a little vacation. I'm going to take some vacation and make sure my cannabis prescription card is up to date because it's time to use that kind of a thing. So,
Well, all right.
yeah.
Mantis Man.
yep.
I am fascinated that there's pictographs of it,
Yeah.
dating back to ancient times. That's why I think alien. It's been here before.
It's probably an alien. Yeah.
I think so too.
Maybe they built the pyramids.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I just like the fact that it has kind of an active camouflage that can kind of. It's not 100% camouflage, but
What if it is a hunter? That's why it's usually around wooded areas. There's streams. It's like a hunting environment for it. Comes down, snags a fisherman, steals his 6-pack of beer, goes back.
Right. But if you notice it first, it can't grab you then.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
So if you see it, it's like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's how you win.
Right.
If you see the mantis man, he's like, oh, shucks, he has to go home.
Right. Yep.
darn.
Yep.
Oh, well, I hope. Well, I don't fish, so I'll think I'll be all right.
Well, I don't know. Mr. Strickler got him driving home.
That's
Yeah.
right. He wasn't even fishing. He was driving.
He was driving around, and he hadn't been drinking. He was driving home.
That's a good thing.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He, I think he was at the store and he was just coming home from the store.
Right.
I think that's what it was. But
All right. I'll tell you what I do know, though we'll be right back after this short break.
oh my God, honey, look, it's Bigfoot.
No way. Let's go say hi. Hey, Mr. Bigfoot, what you reading?
You can call me Frank, and I'm reading the Paranormal Punchers comic book.
Paranormal Punchers?
Yeah, it's about a group of podcasters that get themselves in all kinds of paranormal trouble. It's like Scooby-Doo meets the X-Files, and it's hilarious.
Sounds great. Where can we get a copy?
Just head over to paranormalpunchers.com where you can find a comic book and all kinds of merchandise.
Thanks, Mr. Bigfoot. Have a nice day.
Thanks, you too. Oh, and look out for that bear.
And we're back. We're back with science. With Dave.
Science time. Science time with Dave.
Dave's telling us something super cool on our little break, and I'm like, what are you doing? Wait, we got to record this. Dave, drop that knowledge. Oh, also, we know you're the fake Dave since you're talking so much.
Right.
But that's cool. Drop knowledge. Yep.
So in order for this thing to be here on Earth, it would have to be an extraterrestrial, because the Earth atmosphere won't allow an organism from Earth to grow to this kind of size.
But how do you explain Andre the Giant?
He's a human.
Well, I know that.
But for an insect with an exoskeleton, it won't. In order for you need a certain mixture of oxygen. In like prehistoric times, when we had bigger insects, there was a lot more oxygen in the atmosphere, and that's why things could get so much bigger than they are now.
Okay.
So
it's about the mix of oxygen to nitrogen. That has to be a more oxygen rich environment for that to happen.
Yeah, to that end, you won't get insects much. Yeah, that's why we don't see. When we see a really big insect, that's as big as it gets with today's atmosphere.
Right.
But what if the triangle shaped head, because on this exoskeleton, the triangle shaped head could have been a helmet.
Wait, what?
It could have been a true exoskeleton, like in Battle for L.A., where the aliens were inside, or Independence Day, where the aliens were inside, and what you saw was the...
Right, but that's what we're saying, is that the exoskeleton can't exist naturally on Earth.
Oh.
They have to be.
Yeah, we're saying it is from outer space.
Well, but I'm glad I'm glad I'm agreeing with you all. Very forcefully agreeing with you.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Which may also explain why they're only here for a short period of time. The atmosphere would actually be hard on them to be here. So they come down, they do a little bit, and then jettison back.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Why I should have led the episode with that, Dave. That's super interesting.
Okay.
Exoskeleton talk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Science with Dave.
He needs a theme song.
Brought to you by All Day IPA from Founders.
Right, yeah.
All right. Hey, let's jump into some listener feedback here. First, shout out to our new Patreon member, CJ. Welcome to the Pudding Skin, man, and thank you so much for supporting the show.
To the pudding skin?
To the Pudding Skin. Well, welcome to the Pudding Skin.
I thought it's the pudding skin is more of just the veil between the two. We're still on this side.
He crossed over. He's on.
Welcome through the pudding skin.
Welcome through the Pudding Skin.
Okay, I thought it was like two. It was like, oh, hey, there's some pudding. Oh, that's cool.
I mean, we're talking. Never mind.
In any case, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, CJ.
I'm still
CJ
aggressively agreeing with everybody.
Yep.
Just cancel the subscription. He's like, these guys just.
He's a jerk.
I want to give a shout out here to Kevin J. Him and I went back and forth in the Facebook group on a post, and we kind of came up with this whole idea for movie, comic book, whatever, called Garbage Collectors of the Galaxy.
Oh, I like it.
Nice.
Yes, it takes your idea where Bigfoot collects garbage. We made it better. But yeah, it's about...
Wow.
The whole concept's about two Bigfoots that are sick of their job working for Gary the Gray. They meet a woman drummer, because they also play guitar and bass. And they dream of how they can quit their jobs as the garbage collectors and become famous throughout the galaxy. And we had another idea in here. Okay. So they devise a plan to steal the infamous crystal skull that just happens to be at George Lucas's Skywalker Ranch. With the skull, they can all retire in the Flixnar galaxy and be rock stars. So it's a heist movie, a road trip movie, a buddy comedy, and it'll have a killer soundtrack. And the band is called the Fatfoots. PHAT.
All right.
Kevin, thank you for entertaining me that day. It made my time at work so much better. And there's something here. If I had the money to sink into this, I think an animated series about, Frank, obviously one name. I was thinking Frank, Dean. Maybe, we'll figure out the female lead's name. And, she has an ex-boyfriend that's going to work with Gary the Gray to try to foil their plan to become rock stars.
To put them back to work?
So that's the kind of weird things that happen in the Facebook group. Right. But Kevin, thank you. Yeah, actually, there's some really fun ideas there for storytelling. All right. We heard from Chromos. So what if Bigfoot eat their dead, and that's why we can't find any bodies?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's morbid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming off that fun idea about Bigfoot's right into that.
Soylent Brown.
You know, I think I've heard that before too, Chromos. Like possibilities that they,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, and maybe like pigs, they can crunch right through bone and everything, so you don't ever see the bones laying around.
So now Bigfoot's also the garbage
Eater,
eater.
not just collector, but
boy.
eater. No, just a.
gets
Are
rid of
you
the garbage some way.
referring? Are you saying Bigfoot is the pigs of the galaxy?
No.
Like they're able to dispose of all the garbage and eat it all up?
I'm just saying that they don't have to take the meat off of the bone; that they can just eat it bone and all. Whenever they eat meat, they can eat meat on the bone and just eat the bone.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how do they keep track of each other enough to know that when one dies, to be there to consume it so that nobody finds the body?
True. Or what if you know, the one's just taking a nap, like Frank, stop! He's already halfway done with his
All
arm.
right, hey, you were asleep for a really long time.
I was passed out. We partied last night. Yeah.
Party foul.
Yeah. Maybe they have a buddy system.
Right.
So.
To keep each other from
dead
eating.
Yeah.
Stop eating my feet. Get away from my feet.
Right.
Well, that happened. All right, so we heard from Nicole. Have you guys heard of the Watseka Wonder and the Frog Boys? That is Watscka. Watseka.
I've heard of the Wonder one.
Okay. Well, Nicole continues. I've seen a lot of documentaries and videos on the Watseka Wonder, but didn't know if you guys have or have not. And I just came across a YouTube video within the past week about the Frog Boys. Never heard of it till now. The Frog Boys story seems very similar to the Dyatlov Pass and the American Dyatlov Pass that you guys talked about. Thought you guys might be interested in these stories if you want to look into them for the podcast.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, and the Watseka Wonder is the name given to the alleged spiritual possession of a 14-year-old named Lawrence Venom of Watseka, Illinois, in the late 19th century.
Yeah, I put that on our list because I read it in a book that I got for Christmas a couple years ago, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds interesting," and then I forgot about it, to be honest. So,
Weren't the Frog Brothers the brothers who owned the comic shop in The Lost Boys?
Stop. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, they were vampire hunters.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like,
gotcha.
let's not go down that road. I love that movie. We
I know.
probably
So
talk about it.
She said the Frog Bros, and I was like, wait a minute. Are we talking about The Lost Boys? This is great.
All right, we heard from Jonathan. He says, "Hey, gentle boys and lady girls.
oh,
Absolutely love the podcast and have been listening for a solid 3.5 years now.
Wow. Thank you.
Nice.
You guys
thank
may
you.
be interested in Niagara on the Lake, also known as Canada's most haunted town. Tons of ghost stories all over the town due to the town being heavily involved with the War of 1812. A few places in town that may be of interest are Prince of Wales, Old Angel Inn, and Fort George, where many battles of 1812 were held. Keep up the great work, guys and gal." Thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Solid topic ideas. We'll put it on the list. Yeah. Lots of topic ideas
I
this time
know.
around. And we heard from Trevor. "Oh my goodness. Heard my shout out and didn't even expect it while installing a new power steering pump. Cut the heck out of my thumb.
Oh.
Getting stupid excited. We are not liable.
Colonel Bunter's not
responsible, yeah.
liable.
Smiled ear to ear while cleaning the blood and the wound. Just couldn't contain my happiness. Your podcast is the greatest. So much fun with mostly factual stories and some of the best theories. Conspiracy. Her putting skin for the win.
For the win?
A topic you guys and gal they want to cover is the Dybbuk Box. Have you guys ever heard of that?
The Dybbuk Box?
That sounds
I've heard of
familiar,
it.
but
Dybbuk.
Wasn't
Dybbuk.
okay. So we just watched an episode of Nancy Drew, and weren't they talking about that box?
Way to tell everybody we watched that show.
I'm sorry,
You guys watch Nancy Drew?
On the CW.
dude. It's
Yeah, it's got
really
a lot
good.
of supernatural and paranormal stuff.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Here we go.
I watch it for my wife. She wants to watch it.
Honey, it's on. Come on. Come on down.
Get the popcorn.
Yeah.
I'm not done here. Trevor continues that it's considered one of the most haunted objects on Earth. But you'll never guess who opened it in February of 2020. Nash, who do you think
Open the Dybbuk
would
Box?
open the Dybbuk Box?
The guy who gets possessed on the Ghost Hunters thing.
You are correct, sir. Zach Baggins.
Well,
Baggins.
then I guess I did guess then.
Yeah, you got it.
But he says by many, it's responsible for WW2, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, 9/11, etc. Itself could give you and the cast 5 episodes.
Really?
Wow.
We'll have to look into it. Of course, Zach opened it.
That's what
Yeah.
it's got to be that guy. Did he get possessed by it or something?
I think he has one at his haunted museum in Vegas.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think he does.
Are there multiple Dybbuk boxes?
I don't know.
Uh,
I guess we'll
I
put it
think-
on the list and look into it.
I just pulled up the wiki article on it. It's a single box in this
Oh,
article
okay.
talking about it. But I'm not even going to go into it because it sounds really cool, and we'll save it for another.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's only one, and Zach has it.
At least the wiki article refers to it as a singular box.
Okay.
Well, if it's on Wiki.
It's got to
be true, right?
It's got to
Right.
be true.
Yeah.
We heard from Surfer Rosa. She left a comment on the Injured Cold episode. I wonder if his mouth worked, if he talked telepathically, and his mouth was pretty much fixed in a constant grin, or what might be perceived by them to be a friendly gesture.
Right.
But to us, it's kind of unnerving, terrifying.
Right.
I like that idea. Yeah, that they think this smile makes him look super friendly, but we're like, holy crap,
Right.
run.
It's something else completely.
Yeah. And we heard from Art Designs 305. Hey, man, great to hear from you again. I hope everything is going well.
Yeah.
He says, hey, friends, in a horrible, bad-acting Nash German voice.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah, hey, friends.
Hello.
I was relaxing in bed one night and was just messing around on Google Maps, looking for interesting tiny towns to investigate. The very first one I gazed upon was Leary, Georgia in the USA. This town looked cool. Tiny, only a few hundred residents, but it had a UFO sighting noted in the wiki. I kept on reading, and it was noted that Jimmy Carter and a few local people witnessed a UFO there in 1969. I never heard of the incident. Pretty neat as I kept reading, but I also got goosebumps. Check out the info posted. See if your crack team of specialists can do a quick snippet on this incident.
Wow, we're a crack team. That's
As I'm still waiting for the episode on the Coral Castle in South Miami that I sent info on a while back. Oops.
Sorry.
That's right around the corner. It's coming up right, of course.
Whoa, the crack team's going to get right on this. Big hugs for the team. Your podcast is my favorite by far on my entertainment list.
Aw.
Dude, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as we say here in Miami, dulce de leche for the win.
For the win.
Boom, boom, boom. Al from Miami. Thanks. Thank you so much, man.
What was the flavor of the pudding?
No, I'm sure it means putting skin for the win. Dulce de leche for the win.
Leche.
Dulce de leche.
Dulce de leche
Yeah.
for the win.
Yeah. Caramel.
I have this theory, Nash, that you know how to order pudding in every language on this planet.
I'm familiar with things. Some things.
Boy.
You have a special set of skills.
That's right. Doesn't matter where we go, there will be pudding.
I don't like the sound of that, actually.
And I will find it.
Just got weird.
Yep. You made it weird.
I could go for some dulce de leche. That'd be nice. It's good in coffee, too.
Well. And we heard from Something Perplexing Podcast. They said, very cool, honored on the follow from one of the coolest, inspiring, and funniest pods streaming today. Until you hear this episode. Putting skin for the win.
That's right.
That is Something Perplexing Podcast. Well, thank you for following us, for listening to us, and we'll check you out also.
Definitely.
All right. You want to send us some feedback, some topic ideas? We'll probably forget to put them on the list again. Sorry.
No. We put them on the list, and then we have a few beers, and then we started creating another list, and we forget what the first list was. That's the problem.
So Al's, that Coral Castle was on the first list.
And we're on like list 6, but we got to go back. We loop back.
Okay.
It's part of it. It's a process, you know.
Right. It's a process.
It's a process.
Oh, boy.
Send us your thoughts, your topic ideas, your comments. ParanormalPunches.com. Find all the ways to contact us. All right. That was a fun episode. It's always great seeing you guys.
For
Definitely.
sure.
All right. So any updates on anything? Before we head out of here, yes, I promised that Lish and I would give you our honest opinion on the Hulu TV series Sasquatch.
And go.
Oh.
Now, this show, here, I'll read the synopsis.
Because when I saw the commercial for the show, it was Sasquatch, but
Yeah.
the body of what they're talking about is they were just using that as like a hook or something like that?
Yeah.
Or-
Pretty much.
So this is right from Hulu's website. While visiting a pot farm in Northern California in 1993, investigative journalist David Holthouse heard a story that still haunts him. On a nearby farm, 3 men were torn limb from limb in a savage Bigfoot attack. Well, okay, right now it's promised me
Right.
a series about 3 people murdered by Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 1 is good.
It's so good.
It hooked me in. Like,
yeah.
you know, it was one of those, like, probably should have went to bed, but I was like, hey, I am hooked. You want to make another drink and stay up late and watch episode 2?
Right.
I mean, I was into it.
Yeah.
Had this little cool animation.
Yeah, the animation was
cutscenes
awesome.
they would do. This David relaying the story about the murders and how he was at this pot farm, and this dude burst in. He was visibly shaken and scared, and said, "Oh, these guys, their bodies are ripped apart. Bigfoot did it." And I'm like, "Wow!" And I even looked at you and I said, "Man, a Bigfoot true crime docuseries," and I was like, "Why didn't I think of this?" Because I was like, "Wow, I love this."
Yeah.
And then episode 2, it started to change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this is all taking place up in what they call the Emerald Triangle in California, which is like Humboldt County, or Humboldt County,
Humboldt.
and some that I don't remember at the moment. But this is apparently the best place
Yeah.
in California to grow the best weed.
Yeah.
Like, they were talking that
They used to be a
everything,
show about this.
everything that grows there, like if you grow tomato in this area, it will be the best tomato
Right.
you've ever had. So they were saying, hey, this is another reason like Bigfoot is up in this area. And they had that Bobo Fay
Yeah, he was on it.
and some other Bigfoot, Dr. Jeff Meldon. Did I say his last name right? And they were talking like, you know, this area, dense forest, they're growing pot up there, you know, Bigfoot just eats that right off the stalk. And I'm like, this sounds cool. But it obviously, you can imagine.
Imagine our disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah, because that area is super dangerous.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the story leads into like even Hell's Angels had activity up there.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
cartel.
Yeah.
So it led into what you would think a murder in the Emerald Triangle would be.
Yeah.
Gang related. So I was disappointed because I felt misled by the synopsis. but it is a well-made
Right.
true crime docuseries.
Yes. So if you like that kind of thing, I think it is something everybody should probably watch, whatever. Right. It's not entertaining. That's not the right word. But it's really well put together. Mm-hmm. It just, if you're expecting Bigfoot,
you might have to tune into a different show.
Yeah.
But even, going into a Bigfoot true crime series,
right.
I knew there was no point they're going to have evidence proving 100% Bigfoot did it. I just felt like I was bait and switched.
Yeah, right.
Like the title and everything was clickbait.
Right.
Like I got in, it was just a story of...
Right.
Well, I was confused looking at the commercials because the commercials were like Sasquatch and talking about a murder by a Sasquatch and whatnot. Excuse me. And then it talked
You're
about
excused.
Yeah, sorry about that. And then it started talking about guys with guns, and then there's people in the fields with guns, and I'm like, wait a minute, this has nothing to do with Sasquatch.
Right.
Why? I felt the exact same way just from the commercial.
Yeah, the first episode is like Squatch heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really they had me hooked. And it's only 3 episodes.
Yeah.
About an hour long, I think.
Yeah, I think they're about an hour each.
I'd say if you're into true crime, you'll like it. It's well made. It's well put together. It was definitely. I was just disappointed that up front they made me think it was one thing, which means now we can go make our own Bigfoot true crime.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Do they
docuseries.
Right. Do they circle around and explain why when the guy who was shaken came in, he said it was Bigfoot did it?
Yes. Okay. So if you have not watched this series, I can drop a spoiler, or I can, if you're highly interested in it, Dave, you can go watch it.
I'm kind of interested in it, and if they at least tie it back to why.
Yeah, but let me tell you, the moment they don't 100%. Say it right away, but there's this moment in maybe episode 2 or the very beginning of 3 where they talk about, this one pot grower up here, he was tall. They used to call him Bigfoot. I was like, son of a bitch.
Right.
And right there it was. I was like, nope, this is nothing to do. Once I knew that there was another pot farmer with that nickname, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
But well made.
Okay.
It was very well made.
I did enjoy
yes.
it. I took some small inspiration out of it, like filmmaking wise.
Right.
So it's not terrible. It's just if you know going in that it is true crime. All these pacros up there, they definitely were not murdered by
Right.
a Bigfoot.
Yep.
But that first episode's pretty cool.
Okay.
All right, go check it out yourself. That was our docuseries review.
Yeah.
Tune in again when we talk about. Next time you hear us, we'll drop an episode about a movie that we had an opportunity to watch, and we talked to the filmmaker. It's called 15 Things You Didn't Know About Bigfoot. Number 1 will blow your mind. And that is a clickbait headline.
Yes.
And when you see the movie, that makes so much more sense. It's hysterical. It's a comedy with Bigfoot, and it's pretty fun. And Bigfoot's actually in it.
Yes.
Not as the star.
No. He makes a cameo, though.
But at least the movie has Bigfoot in the title, and they do show him.
Yeah.
That's going to be on the next episode. We talked to the director, Zach Lampew. Was that how his name was?
I believe so.
He had some silent letters in his name.
Yeah. There's some silent letters, so we're not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Lampew.
Well, thank you.
Lampew?
Lampew?
Okay.
I know, like 3 of the letters are silent in the spelling of his name.
So confusing.
Well, all right, Bigfoot Ridge. I approved all the thumbnails. The wonderful artist Ari has moved on to penciling.
Yep.
Nice. So this comic book is progressing towards the finish line. Can't wait to share with everybody.
Episode 2.
What did I say?
No. Because we have our first comic episode, our comic book already out. So it's number 2.
Well, it's our second comic book, but Bigfoot Ridge is not like part 2 of the first comic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See,
You read the script.
I did. I was thinking that you were going to.
Did at any point when you read,
I thought you were going to dovetail them together. You know,
Oh, boy.
they're like an Elseworld kind of a thing.
it is like an Elseworld or a what if.
Yeah.
But it does not tie to our Paranormal Punchers comic book.
Well, I can hope.
Now when I look back and you're like, yeah, I love it. I'm like, did he read it?
It was great. I enjoyed the words.
Nothing makes me happier than words on a page, whatever they mean.
Well, and we had some other fun things in the works that Nash probably signed off on, but never read or looked at. So, all right. Until next time, everyone, remember, if it's not weird,
it's not worth checking out.